Namaste friends, I am Jayalakshmi Ravichandran signing in on behalf of Magic Needles. This day I am here with pattern 15 that I worked with khaki color of special DK yarn from Magic Needles. This is DK special yarn and its color code is 5009. As I said before, this is pattern 15 that I have used in my blanket pattern. In this we require multiples of 3 plus 1 stitches to go about the stitch. This uses 3dc clusters and 3dc clusters here and 3dcs placed in the same stitch, that is 3dc groups. Okay, so let's begin. I am ready with my 34 stitches for my sample. The blanket we have 302, so we have one extra stitch in the blanket that will be adjusted when you work the end of first row. To begin with, make a standing DC in the very first stitch here. I am starting normally, I am not placing any extra stitch here. I will see at the end. Place one more DC in the same stitch. Skip the next 2 DCs and place 3 DCs in the next. Skip the next 3 DCs in the next stitch. That is, you are skipping 2 and placing 3 DCs in the third. Every third stitch you are placing 3 DCs. Skip 2, 3 DCs in the next. Continue this pattern till the end. So your first row has 3 DCs in groups between 2 DCs. Like you skip 2 DCs and the third one you have the 3 DC group. I will meet you at the end of this row here. I have come to the end of the row. For my swatch, I am ideally left with 3 last stitches. So I skip 2 and place 2 DCs in the very last stitch. Then turn your work. In this row, we are going to place 3 DC clusters, that is 3 DCs together. To begin with, place half closed standing double crochet in the very first stitch. I haven't completed my DC. Again, yarn over. In the second, you do half closed double crochet, make half closed double crochet, and then yarn over, pull through all the 3. So this cluster for the end stitch is made here, and then chain 2, one half double crochet in the very first stitch of the 3 DC group, another half double crochet in the next, third half double crochet in the third DC of the 3 DC group. Now you will have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all the loops. So your DC cluster is made. Yarn over, chain 1, chain 2, again DC cluster in the next 3 DC group, chain 2. So this is the pattern repeat. So DC cluster, chain 2, DC cluster, chain 2, continue till the end. I shall meet you at the end. I shall make one more and show you. I have chain 2, yarn over, one half closed double crochet, yarn over, in the next second half closed double crochet, yarn over, in the third half closed double crochet. You will have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all the 4. So your DC cluster is made over the DC groups. Continue till the end. I shall meet you at the end. I have come to the end of the row here. So we chain 2 after the DC cluster, chain 2 and 2 DC cluster over last 2 DCs of our previous row. Turn your work. Place a standing twisted DC on this very first DC cluster. Place 3 DCs in the chain 2 space. Again 3 DC in the next chain 2 space. We are making 3 DC groups in chain spaces. There is no chain in between. So continue till the end. I shall meet you at the end here. We've come to the end of this row. In this row we would have increased by 1 stitch. Doesn't matter, it is not going to affect the pattern. It will get set in the subsequent rows. Now I am going to place my last DC on the last DC cluster. Turn my work. Place a DC on the very first DC here. Now chain 1 and make a DC cluster in this 3 DCs. Chain 2, 3 DC cluster. Chain 2, 3 DC cluster. This is the repeat pattern. 3 DC cluster, chain 2, 3 DC cluster, chain 2 is the repeat pattern, and at the end we end with a DC there. Continue till the end. I shall meet you at the end here. We have come to the end of this row. Chain 1 and place your last DC in the last stitch here, or the last DC of the previous row. We have completed this 4th row. Now for the 5th row, turn your work, standing DC, then make a DC here if you want to continue the pattern. Otherwise, you can end the pattern here. Make 1 DC in chain 1 space and make 3 DCs in all chain 2 spaces, and make 1 chain DC in the chain 1 space and place a DC on the last DC. So this completes our pattern for the blanket. See, we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chain 2 spaces. That is 3 multiplied by 10 is 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So this completes the number of stitches for my swatch. Similarly, it will get completed with 302 stitches for the blanket. Thank you friends for watching. Have a nice day. I shall meet you with pattern 16 in the next video. Have a nice day.